Hello, my name is Jasmine Coleman, and I am a member of the talent management team at DDS Analytics. Over the next 5 minutes, I will take you through a brief overview of the employee attrition analysis we conducted for your company. We'll start by clarifying the general objectives. Next, I'll summarize a few findings we discovered during our exploratory data analysis. Then, I will go over our attrition classification model process. I'll cover our monthly income prediction model, and then we'll close. So you contacted DDS Analytics to conduct an analysis on a sample of data containing a range of information about your employees with the goal of identifying predictors regarding employee turnover. You also asked us to use this information to create a classification model that will accurately identify employee attrition. Per your request, you wanted a model with at least 60% specificity, as in its ability to correctly classify employees who have stayed with the company, and at least 60% sensitivity, as in the model's ability to correctly classify true attrition. Lastly, you requested that we build a model that will accurately predict an employee's monthly income, and you stated that the root mean squared error will be used to judge the accuracy of this model. After cleaning the data you gave us, we took a look at how different factors were affected by attrition. The company's overall attrition rate is 16%. We used the chi-squared test to compare the attrition rates between the levels of each variable and test for significance. And we found that several factors like gender, education, and pay rate were not heavily influenced by attrition. Of the factors that did vary by attrition, we wanted to point out the following as they appear to have the strongest impact. Employees who work overtime have a 31% attrition rate compared to less than 10% for salaried employees. This is assuming that only non-exempt employees qualify for overtime. Oddly, attrition rates are highest with employees who either have the highest or lowest stock options available, corresponding to levels 0 and 3 in the survey, with attrition rates over 20%, while those who fall in the middle have attrition rates less than 10%. And assuming that job involvement scores range from 1, having little to no involvement, to 4, having high involvement, attrition rates appear to increase as job involvement increases. Attrition is also highest for employees in lower job levels. And interestingly enough, divorced employees have the lowest attrition rate at 6.2%, whereas 26% of employees who are single are less likely to stay with the company. So to predict employee attrition, we used a naive-based classification model. We split the data into a training and test set and tested 3 different models. Because the overall attrition rate is 16%, it's fairly easy to develop a model that will accurately classify employees who didn't leave the company because the majority of your employees stay. So in the first 3 models, we had a high accuracy, but our specificity was below 60%. First, we put a model that included all of the variables, then a model that excluded all the factors that were not significantly affected by attrition, and a third model that only included all of the factors that were significantly impacted by attrition. Our final model, which was the best fitting model, we built off of the third model, but this time we excluded 2 variables that were highly correlated with several other predictor variables and could be reasonably explained by 2 variables that were still included in the model. So we just deemed the extras redundant and took them out. And this model had specificity and sensitivity measures over 60% for both the training and test sets. So this model was used to predict attrition in the validation data set you provided us with. To build the predictive model for monthly income, we used linear regression model selection. Again, we used our training and test data sets to build 3 different models. And here we found the backward selection model to be the best fit based on root mean squared error, which is basically just the standard deviation of the residuals, which are our predicted errors. So we typically want that number to be as small as possible. Final thoughts. We've identified the factors that have the strongest impact on attrition, and while you can't necessarily control the marital status of your employees, there are several factors within your domain of control that we recommend you consider diving deeper into to understand why certain segments of your employees are more likely to leave the company. We've also included a spreadsheet containing the results of our attrition classification model against your validation dataset for your review. A link is available at the end of this presentation that will take you to a more in-depth review of our results and this entire analysis. Likewise, we've also included the spreadsheet containing the results of our monthly income predictions against your salary validation datasets for your review. And that's my time. The link on this page will take you to our GitHub site, which includes the raw data files we use, all of our code analysis, and also any output files referenced or produced. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.